Slamdown is sponsored by Body Slam and Jam and WWE Smack Talk. Welcome to another episode of Slamdown. Today we're going to be doing WWE FastLane Predictions. This is Raw's premiere show. It's probably the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. I do not know why I said probably, because actually it is the last show before WrestleMania. As we know, this show and Raw after it is probably going to set the tone for WrestleMania on matches that will happen. You know, at the minute, nothing is set in stone with what's happening at WrestleMania. You know, we could see Goldberg win his match, so he'll carry the title over to WrestleMania with the Brock Lesnar. We could see Kevin Owens keep hold of the title, but then who's Kevin Owens going to face at WrestleMania? You know, there's a lot of up in the air stuff what's going to happen going forward. And there was something else that I was meant to say that was meant to be really important, but yeah. One thing we actually do know, we know the Hardys will not be turning up at WrestleMania. For people that haven't seen, they have signed a contract with Ring of Honor. So it looks like they're going to be doing Ring of Honor and New Japan. Doesn't surprise me that they haven't signed. To be honest, Matt wants a lot of creative control over the broken gimmick and the character with it. So I can see in Ring of Honor that you will get that freedom. They will be able to do basically whatever they want with that gimmick. That's probably the main reason they didn't re-sign with Impact. Because let's be honest, their gimmick is quite out there. If you're looking for realistic wrestling, then don't watch the Hardy gimmick. No matter, if you're really not into it, no matter if it's what time it is or what space it is, just, yeah. I had to get that in there. I will be getting ready to do the FastLane predictions. I'm just giving a bit of time to do a bit of build-up. We do have some news on Monday at 9 p.m. when I do the Impact Wrestling Review. I will be having a co-host with me. I'm not going to say who. I'm going to sort of leave it as a surprise. The bloke I've got, it's sort of a trial run, see how it goes, see if the chemistry's there, and then, it's going to be your opinion that counts. And just a quick remember, this show is about the fans. It's a fan's perspective on the wrestling. I'm not here to make money, so I'm not going to sit here and say things that are going to grab attention. I'm just going to be to the point. I want to be honest and I want to be open. But I think I've left enough time for it to build. So let's start digging in to FastLane. Now, we've got a kickoff match. The one thing that surprised me about this kickoff show, normally we have seen 2 or maybe even 3 matches. But this time they've given us the one match. Which is Rich Swann and that other lad that I really hate pronouncing his name. Towers. I'm just giving up. I'm not going to try and pronounce that and make myself look like an idiot. But they'll be taking on the Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar. Now, we've seen that Brian Kendricks is not happy with that other lad about not letting him accept the opportunity for Kendrick to be his mentor and everything like that. And we've seen a little bit of rivalry between Noam Dar and Rich Swann. It's an okay kickoff match, to be honest. The cruiserweights really don't impress me. You know, I've watched WCW cruiserweights from back when and the early days when the WWF did cruiserweights, and so I'm not really impressed with this bunch, to be honest. I don't think it's the wrestlers' fault. I think it's the way they're being used. I've said this in past shows that it worries me. You know, I think it's lack of storytelling, the using incorrectly. You know, I think that has a lot to do with it. But to pick a winner out this match, I'm going to go... I think they're going to let the faces win this. I was going to say Rich Swann and the other lad. I think they're going to keep the faces having this. I can possibly see them doing at WrestleMania as a kickoff show, the guy versus Brian Kendrick, but I highly doubt it because they're going to have so much to ram on the card. To kick off FastLane, we're starting off with a women's match with Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. Now, I know that Nia Jax is quite popular. The thing that worries me is how do you take down a woman like Nia Jax? It was the same situation, and I hate comparing, but when Impact Wrestling had Awesome Kong, it was like, how do you take down Awesome Kong? I don't know. I don't know if Nia Jax actually fits into the division, because it's trying to look, how is she beatable? You know, how can you beat Nia Jax? You know, I am going to go with Nia Jax on this one. I think she's going to get the victory over Sasha Banks. I still think the Raw's women's division is lacking, but I'm going to say Nia Jax on that one. After that, we've got the Raw Tag Team Championship match with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the club, taking on Enzo Amore and Big Kaz. Now, I'm going to surprise a little people. I can see a swerve coming here. Now, the reason I see the swerve, it's the way Big Kaz has been acting in the previous Raw. I believe that the club are going to retain and Big Kaz is going to turn on Enzo Amore. I know I don't like saying this because I absolutely love the team, but I think that's happening. I think Vince McMahon likes Big Kaz and wants to give Big Kaz that push. But then the problem is, what do you do with Enzo Amore? He's not a great wrestler, but he's amazing on the mic. I can really see that happening at FastLane, but that's what worries me. After that, we have the Cruiserweight Championship match with Neville versus Jack Gallagher. Absolutely love Neville. I'm not just saying that because I'm English. When he'd done the UK scene before he signed with the WWE, he's an amazing, talented superstar. And I think playing this heel character and this heel gimmick has made him look a lot better. It's improved him. But I also like Jack Gallagher. Now, I see a lot of fans have been saying Jack Gallagher, oh, they're doing a typical Englishman, blah, de blah, de blah. Jack Gallagher played this gimmick when he was in the indie scene in the UK. So, this is not a WWE gimmick. This is his own gimmick. So, I know a lot of people don't know that because they don't know a lot of the guys past who come over from the UK, but that's what he's done over here. So I've got to give props, and I've got to give props to WWE for allowing him to stick with that character. I think Neville's going to win it, but then if Neville wins, it's going to be quite a heelish pay-per-view where the heels win. Do you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to say Jack Gallagher. You know, when he jumps off that top turnbuckle with holding the umbrella coming down like Mary. Now, I want to say Jack Gallagher. I think they're going to give him the push on that. Yeah, I've got to go Jack Gallagher. After that, we've got Sami Zayn taking on Samoa Joe. With the way they've brought Samoa Joe in and the way they have built him, I think it'd be sort of the wrong direction to have him lose against Sami Zayn. But then again, you don't want Sami Zayn to look weak. But they're putting all their efforts into Samoa Joe, so I'm going to have to say Samoa Joe for the win on this. After that, we've got... I've got to try not to fall asleep talking about this guy. Roman Reigns against Braun Strowman. Now, I want to say a few things about Roman Reigns. The problem with Roman Reigns is not Roman Reigns. It's Vince McMahon. It's the way Roman Reigns is being used. He got pushed too early, too quick to start off his career. Then, after that, they did the Royal Rumble where he had the title on the line with the Triple H thing. You know, they threw everything at him, even though he was getting booed non-stop. You know, the fans weren't buying him. And if a wrestler's gonna be booed that much, use it to your advantage. You know, why not have him turn heel and say, I might not be your guy, might not be a bad guy, but, you know, use that as a heel. Say, like, he doesn't care. You know, when he was at NXT and played that heel gimmick, he did it amazingly. Now it just feels like the WWE are trying to replace John Cena by using Roman Reigns. I can't see Braun Strowman winning this. Not with the popularity by the backstage staff of Roman Reigns. I'd like to see Braun Strowman win this because, I'm sorry, but Braun Strowman against Big Show was an amazing match. You know, what Braun Strowman did for his size, if he can do that against Roman Reigns, I think that would probably be the better direction to go to. But with what they're going to do, it's going to be Roman Reigns for the win. After that, we have the Raw Women's Championship match, Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. Now, I don't need to put much thinking into this because we all know what's going to happen. It's the same story over and over and over and over again. Charlotte Flair is going to win at the pay-per-view. Now, this is what I think the WWE are going to do with this. I think after Charlotte Flair wins, I think they're going to have Charlotte Flair taking on somebody at WrestleMania and Charlotte Flair loses at WrestleMania. So then it is, oh my God, she's lost her streak. She's been beaten at a pay-per-view. That's what I think they're going to do with that. I like Bayley as champion, but I don't, because it's pay-per-view, I'm sorry, but it's going to be Charlotte Flair. Now, the big main event, Kevin Owens versus Bill Goldberg. Now, I was a big WCW fan. I was a big fan of Goldberg. I think he's I can't really say amazing wrestler, but back in them days, he was an amazing wrestler. I've got to say his mic skills have improved. Because back in the day, you'd never really put Goldberg on the mic. He wasn't great. I know a lot of people say he's getting old, everything else. So is Undertaker. Undertaker is old, but when Undertaker comes back, everybody loves it. Don't agree with part-timers getting a title. I don't think he needs to have a title. You know, they can make a brilliant run with Goldberg without holding a title. But the way they've built Kevin Owens, I think there's going to be interference in this. I think there's going to be involvement with Triple H and Samoa Joe. I can see that happening. There's history with Goldberg and Triple H as well from the past, when Goldberg on his previous run. So I can see him going in that direction. That's why I don't think Kevin Owens is going to beat Goldberg in a normal one-on-one. I think there's going to be something that happens at the end. But the thing is, if they brought Triple H and Samoa Joe, interfered, attacked Goldberg, then Goldberg is going to be concentrating getting revenge on Triple H, but he's got to concentrate on Brock Lesnar. Or is Brock Lesnar going to interfere? I feel there's something going to happen to this. I don't think this is going to be a straightforward match. I think they need to do something to build up Kevin Owens for WrestleMania. I just can't see Goldberg holding the title because, to be honest, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the title, no. Because after that match, you're going to have Randy Orton taking on Bray Wyatt. No, I can't see it working. They need to have Kevin Owens take on somebody else. They could even do Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. Because Kevin Owens can easily say if he beats Chris Jericho walks. They could easily do that. I'm just trying to think from booking sort of ways what they can actually do with this match to heighten it. Because there's no way it's going to be straightforward. You know, that's too easy. There's got to be something else they're going to add to it. I'm just sitting here racking my brains to try and think what they're going to do. Don't forget, if you're watching this live, you can comment as well what you think is going to happen. But I've just got a feeling it's not going to be straightforward. And I don't think Kevin Owens on his own can take down Goldberg. But I want to say Kevin Owens keeps the title. That's all I can say is Kevin Owens keeps the title. I can't... Yeah, that's what I'm going to stick with. And on that bombshell, on Monday we have got Impact Wrestling Review at 9 p.m, which I'll be covering all about Impact, about the last show, and I will talk snippets about the tapings, not too much because I don't want to ruin it for people. At 10 p.m. GMT, we'll be doing the FastLane Review. So far, I've been roughly about 80%, 90% right on my predictions, and I'm hoping I can get every prediction correct. I can hope, but But that is it for this episode. I want to say a big thank you for everybody that's watching. We'll be back again on Monday. This has been your host, Ashley Friend, with FastLane Predictions.